though? It's your man, DJ Caveman. We back again. DJ IronMonkey in the building with another episode of DJ Caveman and IronMonkey talking shit. It used to be talking sports, but now we talking more than just sports, and we giving our unique take on the things that's going on in the world every week. You know what I'm saying? It's a different perspective from 240 somethings. You know what I'm saying? Or men of a certain age. You know, out here trying to live life. You know, the glasses have become part of the overall aesthetic over here, but you know what time it is.
Yeah, it's like me in a hat. I was gonna put on a hat on, but I don't know.
Hey man, at least you know you ain't out there hat fishing, folks. You know what I mean? You ain't taking that shit off and be rocking the George Jefferson and shit. So everything is
the cul-de-sac.
Nah. I never heard it called the cul-de-sac before.
Nah. I heard Will Smith call somebody that. I think when homeboy from Sherman Hemsley, when he was on Fresh Prince, he's like, "Come on, get out of here with that cul-de-sac."
I used to call it the friar tuck, but then the friar tuck, you got hair in the front, you just missing the little spot in the back.
Yeah, in the middle,
the
beanie spot,
the skin yarmulke. But yeah, the cul-de-sac. I'm gonna start using that shit.
The cul-de-sac, yeah, man.
Just you know, I gotta up my vitamin E right now because it's getting a little thin up top, and it looks like it's trying to dig out the plans for a cul-de-sac on my dome right now. So
Biotin.
Oh yeah, I got the Biotin, and I got some Nutrafol around here somewhere.
All right.
You know, so I might just start taking them joints, but you got to take a lot of them shits. Just like, yo, vitamin E, a little bit of super grow, you know what I'm saying? Eat healthy, that type of shit. Eat the stuff that like helps your hair and nails grow naturally. You know.
We're of the age where we got to take our vitamins now.
Ladies don't come with the nasty thoughts. You know, because there's all those like, what do you call them? Urban legends on how to get your hair to grow, especially if you're having beard growth issues.
Mayonnaise and shit like that. Don't do it. You never heard mayonnaise?
Nah. For beard growth? I was just talking about eating the pussy, dog. I would say the more coochie you eat, you know, the better it is for your facial situations.
Yeah. You know, if you're eating a good kind.
You got to get the juices and berries on there, you know what I'm saying? And
you know, if you're digging in the proper snatch, you know. The improper ones, you know, you end up walking away with like face scabies and shit like that, you know.
Oh damn! Hopefully you're inspecting that shit before you just pop on down there. You gotta get it a once over, man. You can't just.
No, that's why I don't sleep around.
You can't just dive in with your eyes closed, bro.
That's why I don't sleep around, my guy. Like, I have respect for myself at this point. Yeah. So I'm not deep diving scuba Steven on no crabby broad.
Yeah, you never had like a couple years where you were just outside with in the midst of like toxic hotivity at its finest.
My teen years. That's what we're gonna call them. My teen years.
We're referring to them as your teen years now. All right, cool.
Yeah. My whole years were my teen years, but that was my design. You know, I wanted to get all that shit out of my system by the time I'm this age, which I basically do. But in my teen years,
I feel like you definitely had some years, not your teen years, that was like where the hotivity was high.
Yeah, possibly, but you know, that's before that. That's before I grew up. That's before I grew up. Because once I had kids, you know, I stopped with the whole shit. You know, I might have had a couple of girlfriends and shit, but other than that,
a couple of girlfriends is whole shit, dog.
Well, not at the same time. Like,
all right.
No, not at the same time. No, man. Because I gotta set the example at home for my kids. Can't be having no random broad be coming around the house and shit like that. Yeah.
I can dig it. How was your week, man?
It was all right. You know, a little stressful. It was kind of taxing on my body. I was fighting a cold earlier in the week, but still had to work through it. Had work last night. at the nightclub. At the end of the night, I ended up having to walk home. So, because it was weird. My ride was like, oh, I'll be outside. Couldn't find my ride. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm not going to be spinning the block looking for this person. I'm just walk home.
Right.
40 minutes later, I'm home, went straight to sleep. Now my leg's cramping up. That's why I'm kind of tapping my leg here. But other than that, how was your week, man?
Man, it was all right, bro. I had actually a pretty decent week. I don't remember all the things I did, but I got a chance to hang out with my little sister the other day, and that shit was pretty dope because we don't really get to hang out like we used to. Not that we ever really. It's weird though because like we never really hung out. Like like there's like brothers and sisters that like they always together doing shit, at the bars and fucking they show up everywhere together and fucking they in the same like they go to the same schools, they're in the same groups. Like never been like that with my sister. Though. Like it just been like we're related and we hung out as kids, but like it was mostly forced. You know what I mean? Because she had her own like identity and like like group of friends, and I had my own little group of friends. And to know me is to know that like I'm a little bit of a square. You know what I mean? I'm a little geeky. You know what I mean? I like a lot of geeky type shit. You know what I mean? Star Trek, Star Wars type shit. And I kind of gravitated more to like the other kids like that were like athletic nerds is what I like to refer to them as, especially going to like the high school I went to. There's a lot of us
student athletes.
Student athletes. See, I knew you would have the right phrase for it, man.
I'm here for you.
Whereas little sister's a little bit more duckish ruckish bone. Which is cool.
Yeah. You can't always be on the same side of the coin. That's the spice of life. You got to branch out every now and then.
And she like hit me to a lot of shit, and I'm sure I hit her to some shit too. And that takes nothing away. Like she ain't out in the streets like that, but you know what I mean. She's much more outside than your boy, is what I'll say. When it comes to like, being in the clubs and the nightlife. Like I was working in the nightlife, and then she was working in the nightlife, and we've worked together too. We've had a few jobs together. But as far as like actually like spending like adult like out having drinks and shit is really like it doesn't happen as much as it probably should because we always have a good time. And I always forget my sister's quite the pool player, so it's always like cool to watch her like sit back and have a couple drinks and fucking watch her win on the pool table. Yeah. Because like a lot of people, especially dudes, will like underestimate women because like. There's not even though there's a ton of great women's pool players out there, like you don't really see them at the
Black Widow.
Yeah, right. But you don't really see them at the nightclub. You see them at like the pool hall type shit.
Yeah, tournaments.
Tournaments and shit. You know what I mean? Like my little sister will go into a fucking regular nightclub with like the 6-foot tables and run that shit for a little while. And I'm a decent pool player. I got on there and won a bunch of games. I had a table for a little bit. So it was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Yeah, shout out to Steph.
Good to just check in. Everybody's all right, and that's cool.
Yeah, my little big sis.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to Steph.
So week was good, man. Week was good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Family time's always golden, man. Especially now that we're older and everything, and just being able to talk without being bickering and fighting about every little thing. Like, that's mine. No, that's mine. That kind of shit. Now that we're older, we got kids. We're over 40. Yeah, matter of fact, my brother did turn 40 this year.
Yeah. So, shout out to
my sister about to turn. I think my sister turns 50 next year.
I saw he had his coaching debut today.
For the girls my niece's softball.
Yeah, softball. It looked like football, like flag football maybe. But shout out to Coach Quas.
Coach Alexis. Shout out to my brother.
You know what I'm saying out there?
Coach Quas. It's nice to see him make that pivot because he was doing football for a while. Mount Hope Cowboys. It was weird as a Giant fan rooting for the Cowboys. That was weird as fuck. But My brother, he kind of got forced to do the softball thing because the coach quit and nobody wanted to step up, and
Oh
he didn't
shit.
want, he didn't want his daughter to just be hanging in the wind, so he stepped up. You know what I mean? That's what
Dope.
leaders do.
Facts. So I guess we should address we come up with different segments, right? So right now we're talking about our premier topic of the day. Granddad out here showing his stuff.
Well, you have to give people the preference of why, who is Granddad.
Yeah. I hit him with the title first. You know what I mean? The title of today's segment is Granddad out there showing his stuff. Shout out to the homie Mike Padula. If you don't know, that's a Boondocks reference.
Granddad out here showing his stuff.
But out here with Shannon Sharp with the very brief Instagram live sex tape situation. A little different than your regular sex tapes because it was just audio. You know what I'm saying? There's no ladies, calm down. If you haven't seen it, there's no this is not R. Kelly type footage. You know what I'm saying?
It's just muffled sound.
It's just sound. There's a
and
lot
the only way you know it's him is because it's from his phone. That's it.
Yeah, it's from his phone. Hey, let's be real. Shannon Sharp got one of the most distinctive voices, accents. Like if you got comedians doing an impersonation of you, that means that you have a really distinct sound to your voice so that people can recognize that you're doing Shannon Sharp. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to tell people that you're doing impressions. So it's like Christopher Walken, Shannon Sharp, John Madden, you know what I'm saying? Denzel, guys with very distinct, you don't even have to you could be listening to the movie in the background. You'd be like, oh, that's a Denzel movie. That's Denzel for sure.
Yeah, Steve Harvey, Charles Barkley.
Yeah. So you either got to have a real distinct voice or you got to have like a catchphrase. But even then, your voice got to be, because if that's the case, they would do more presidents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do Trump, they do Obama, they do.
I think every president had even going back to Dana Carvey on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, with the Bushes. So I think every president has one of them. Nixon back in the day.
Nixon.
Yeah. I don't go back to the Harry Truman days. I don't vote for Ike. I don't go that far back. I ain't that fucking old.
So I mean? What's your take on it, man? There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. You know what I'm saying? Did he do it on purpose? Was it? You know what I mean?
It's just a weird. It's just a weird situation because number one, as Ocho and he had a test on their nightcap or nightclap, as you may.
Yeah. My shirt is ordered. Matter of fact, I gotta push send on it. I just had to put some money in the bank. I'm about to get my nightclap t-shirt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna support him, even though he got mad endorsements off this shit unintentionally.
No, but he had some of those. He had some of those endorsements before because during his show, even Club Shay Shay, in between, he'll do the infomercial read, with the dog food and then with the some of the other shit. But then he does have the pills. He
got a male enhancement sponsorship. Like the next day, they called him up, like, "Yo, Sharp, we're seeing you. You might need."
But he's been advertising for them for a while.
Oh, has he been?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's they're Club Shay Shay.
I never heard.
He'll have the infomercial read. But no, he had one it'll be in your system for 36 hours. You don't have to take a pill to be ready because you'll be ready when it's time to go. He's had that before. My thing is he's just not a technical kind of guy. But for that to happen, you have to do a lot to go on Instagram Live. So it was just weird that he threw the phone and then the phone decided itself to go live. That's weird.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's tripping me out, man. Because it's to go on Instagram Live, you gotta do a lot, bro.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is that he hit he was looking for a camera.
Mhm.
And you know how sometimes like you hit the camera on your Instagram, like trying to do some other shit. Because I've done
Yeah.
that. Turn the camera on. I've turned the camera on my regular phone. So maybe he thought he was turning his regular camera on. But
Yeah,
either
yeah.
way, why wouldn't you turn the camera off before you do the phone? Put that
Yo,
shit on silent.
and I'm kind of glad that it wasn't a bad thing. But even last night when I was walking home from work, apparently I didn't do it, but my profile picture on Facebook changed. And I'm glad that it was one picture and not the next picture on that reel, which I'm not even going to get into because I'm not putting myself out there like Shannon Sharp, which
Oh
I need to
man,
delete that shit off my phone.
you got dick pics in your phone, dog.
No, nah, I don't do that. That's one thing I don't do. Nah,
You got the naked bathroom pic, like the game and shit.
nah.
In your drawers with your sea snake.
I'm gonna let you keep fishing, but the answer is no. It's nothing dealing with me. So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Oh, okay. He got naked bitches in his phone. Everybody.
Like I said, I'm gonna let you keep fishing. Nah, I'm just glad it wasn't the other picture. But the thing is shit happens sometimes. Because when I woke up this morning and I went to like my Facebook, just to see, what's happening, make sure that, everything's cool with people. I was like, wait, what the fuck's up with my profile picture? I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh shit. If it was the next picture, oh man, I would have been trying to have to explain myself like Shannon. But the thing is I believe I'm giving him a little bit more grace for the simple fact that it doesn't seem like his character in regards to what he's trying to set himself up for. Because even with his interviews, the way that he's kind of set himself up is where he can get like a President Obama or a Michelle Obama, like to do an interview. Because especially Obama, for the simple fact that they could sit down and rap about sports. Know what I mean? But now with this puts him back at least 2 or 3 years from that possibly happening, for the simple fact that it's just bad optics for Obama now to kind of go on the podcast. It's just weird optics,
which doesn't make any sense to me. Like I feel like I get the whole like I could see if he was like I could see if it was more like an R. Kelly tape or like a tape with him like the Paul Pierce tape. Well, not tape. Paul Pierce was just live with strippers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna touch a base on that part. But go ahead.
Paul Pierce was just live with strippers. He wasn't really doing it. I think he was smoking weed too.
Yeah, but the chicks had clothes on.
What I'm saying is, like
you can see their faces though.
It was just audio. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like you know what I mean, where it's like so egregious that it's like, yo, I can't come on your show because people are gonna be like, oh, how you gonna go? It's not like he was with young girls or you know what I mean. Like it was like just adult shit that got leaked out to the world.
And he didn't even say anything weird. Like
right, he didn't say no weird shit. It wasn't like smack me in the ass or choke me or you know what I'm saying.
Put a finger in my butt. Like he wasn't saying
no weirdo shit. He was just sitting there briefly clapping and we know her name is Michelle because he was like, "Who's my Michelle?" So now the hunt is on for like Red October for who's Michelle.
Hold on though. This is the thing, and I kind of respect him on that part where he's like, nah, don't go fishing for who she is because out of just respect her and her privacy. As an adult, they did adult shit. Just respect her shit. But then this is the thing I just thought about when you say, who's my Michelle? And the fact that I brought up Michelle Obama earlier, it's like, yo, I hope this dude wasn't really role playing. I was like, who's my Michelle? Like Michelle Obama?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be weird.
Yeah, that would make it weird. That would make it weird.
Tonight I'm Barack and you're Michelle.
Yeah,
that'd be weird as fuck. But then you got to remember too, like even during the search, it's like a futile effort, dog. Like let's be real about it. Like Shannon Sharp was in the NFL for like 14 seasons. You know how many Michelles he might have knocked off that he might still be spinning the block with?
In Denver alone, even before he went to Baltimore, in Denver alone,
man. Like, and now he's in LA. Come on,
but that was the weird thing. Like for me, I was like, the only weird thing I could probably think is that he's trying to dispel some of the gay rumors But it's like, the fuck if he's gay? Like, I don't care. That doesn't pay my bills. That doesn't do anything for me if he's gay. You know what? If he's gay, that's his fucking business. That has nothing to do with me. But people are like, yo, I grew up in Denver when he was playing for the Broncos. I'll tell you, that nigga ain't gay. Like, if he is, so be it. Like, he's knocked down enough pins to strike all that shit out. Like, he's straight.
Interesting conspiracy theory that I'm gonna just slide out there real quick. What if Michelle is like a French dude?
Oh man, nah, don't do that to him. Come on, don't do that to him. Because you can hear her voice. You can kind of hear her a little bit outside of the slurping and popping. But
what did she say?
You can kind of.
She said, yeah. I could easily do it at that level.
Yeah, don't. I'll take you at your word on that one.
I'm just saying, it's just another conspiracy theory. You know, I love a good conspiracy theory, man.
I know you do.
I know he's out there saying, "Don't look for her. Don't look for her." Trying to
because it's a dude.
Because it's a dude.
Nah, man, I'm not. Just because he has the tight clothes and the little puppy and the orange bag, nah, I'm not doing that to him. I'm not doing that to him. For the simple fact that, lo and behold, we're aspiring to get noticed. And if we get noticed by him, I don't want to get punched in the chest just walking in the airport. And then he's like, hey, yo, IronMonkey, yo, my guy, come here for a second. Ew, Shannon Sharp. Ew, how's it going? Coming in for a dap and punch me dead square in my chest. Nah, I'm not fitting for that shit.
He'd be like, that's for your boy.
Yeah.
Tell your boy I'm looking for him.
Yo, send that message. Be like, yo, I could just give you his fucking email. You didn't have to tell me like that, son.
Right? Hey, Shannon Sharp, holla at us, man. I'd love to have you on the show, man. I'm a big fan. It's just there's a lot of questions, man, and I actually believe that he did that shit happen by pure coincidence, but it's just how, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially when you're not technical like that. Like he's not a technical guy.
Nah, Shannon Sharp reminds me of my dad. You know what I mean? Like I tell the stories all the time. The first time I showed my dad YouTube, and he was like, "So I could watch drummers inside my phone." Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I could watch jazz concerts on my phone. Yes, Dad. Anything you want to just type it in. Type in the weirdest thing you could type in, and it'll come up, and there'll be videos for that shit. If you really want to fall into a rabbit hole, type some off the wall shit inside of YouTube one day, and just see where it takes you. Because there's a video out there for everything, and that's all I'm gonna say about the rabbit holes you can fall into on YouTube if you type in a specific combination of words that may or may not make sense as a sentence. Because you don't even have to type in like an actual sentence. You could type in lemons, aardvarks, and Jiffy Lube, and
something will
pop up, and it'll be the weirdest shit you ever seen in your life.
Nah, I was hanging out with my man Sean today. All right, shout out to Sean and Kathy. But he was like, "Yo, I got some midgets for you." I'm like, "What?" He was like, "Nah, I got some midgets for you." What? You don't like midgets? I'm like, "Yo, you're kind of phrasing this whole conversation kind of weird. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and I don't know what."
Hit you with the Tootsie Rolls?
Nah, hit me up with these little joints, the pre-roll joints.
Oh shit! I'm like, what is that?
It's a midget. It's a midget.
What, you taking like 2 hits off that and it's done?
No, it's a midget. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but how big is it as a midget? Like, is it like a 0.5?
Just about, yeah.
Okay. Well, at least you're gonna get some smoke out of it.
But again, like if you want to look up some weird shit, just look up weird name, random midget shit. Because I was like, yo, I don't know what about my personality told you I'm into midgets. He was like, no. I'm talking about pre-rolls. I was like, oh. Just the way you started that conversation, I didn't know what the fuck you was talking about. So I needed clarity.
Hey,
got me out here being like ABC moderators. Starting to question your shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
right? I bet if you type in random midget shit into
Oh yeah.
YouTube, you're gonna get some interesting videos.
Oh yeah. Even
Uh,
better. You might want to turn the filter off so you can see adult shit. Even better.
there's a filter on YouTube.
Well, there's kind of like where they kind of put a cap on like some of the materials you can watch. Like if it's rated R, because like I pay for my YouTube, so I don't have to deal with commercials and shit like that. But then also I can watch movies. So now if the movie's rated R, I can just watch it without a problem. Because one time I tried to watch a movie and they're like, because of your account, you can't watch this. Are you over 18? I'm like, the fuck? Who the fuck are you to
Oh,
question if I'm over 18? The fuck?
that's fucking
So I
hilarious.
had to go into my settings and change shit.
Shout out to the homie Mike Padula in the Facebook chat. What up, Mike? Um,
You're
so yeah, Shannon got the sex tape. You know what I mean? And I hope he don't
uh,
get I hope he don't get canceled because it's not like he was on there with his ass cheeks on the internet.
he's a
You know,
consenting adult.
you
You
know.
didn't have anybody like tied up. He wasn't abusing nobody. No animals were
Right?
involved.
You didn't hear nobody
Like,
getting slapped around.
yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, he wasn't eating no cat.
yeah.
None of that. None of that.
That's the
It was
weirdest
just,
shit ever, man. And then they said that there
ooh.
was an interview I watched with JD Vance today where he was like, sometimes we make up stories. Nigga,
Listen, listen.
come on,
We're about to get.
man.
We're about to get to that segment right now, or pretty soon, about what's on my mind.
All right,
Oh man.
we'll table it, man. You want to talk about your Giants?
Losing against the Commanders. Well, it was a winnable game. At least they were competitive to a degree. They lost by a field goal. Daniel Jones ain't like throw obnoxious amount of interceptions or got sacked as much as I thought he was going to, but he had less than 200 yards. Neighbors got the ball a couple of times, so he put up some yardage. Montgomery got a rushing touchdown, I think. So they played all right, but they're not there yet. They're still trying to figure it out. They're in a soft rebuild, in a sense.
Okay, okay. Um, what about those Steelers, man?
Solid, solid. Like, yeah, it doesn't have to be sexy. They're not winning on style points, but TJ Watt got another sack and a couple of rushes and stuff like that, hurries from the quarterback. But no, it's just you just got to win the game. You just got to score more than the other team, even if it's like 2-0. You just got to score more than the other team. That's it. And they did it. It wasn't the sexiest game. It wasn't the best put together. It's not like Le'Veon Bell and pre-concussion and CTE Antonio Brown's walking through those doors. They just got to make do with what they got. That's it. So
Facts.
play
Uh,
solid ball. But I was gonna ask you about your Lions, but I don't want to disrespect you like that because Lions still Super Bowl pick.
man, listen. First of all, fuck the Ravens for being 0-2 right now.
Yes. And the
Man,
Steelers are 2-0, baby.
they're fucking up.
If
They're
the
fucking up my
playoffs started now, we'll we might be number 1 seed.
Spoken like a true Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah. Even though they got their ass waxed today.
Oh man, woo, it made me happy inside.
Oh my goodness.
But the Vikings won, and that is like, damn it.
Yeah.
Because the Lions are 1-1, so divisionally they just made a lot of mistakes. But big up on Dan Campbell for being like, I made some judgment calls that didn't go the way that they should have, or they were the wrong calls. So
you got to break eggs to make an omelet, man.
He kind of like took credit for it and shit. So, but they still played pretty good overall. They just made they made a lot of mental errors. Too many men on the field at the end of the first half, missed a field goal. You know what I mean? Terrible play calls down the stretch with under a minute to go. They got the ball back again with like 40 seconds left and didn't take any shots into the end zone. Like, come on, man. But it's a game they could have won, but it's still early in the season. It's still 17 weeks to go. So it's 15 weeks to go. They're still my Super Bowl pick.
The Patriots have proven even if you go perfect in the season, it doesn't guarantee that you'll win the Super Bowl.
That's why it's called Any Given Sunday, my friend. Shout out to
You know,
Dawn. Oh, hey, what's up, Dawn? Dawn's in the Facebook chat. I haven't seen Dawn in
yeah,
forever.
you're better off losing all your games early and make your mistakes early in the season rather than doing that dumb shit later on in the season and even in the playoffs. So it's like, if my team loses, it's not the end of the world. If anything,
Yeah.
like my fantasy team is getting waxed. Yo, this dude's about to score 200 in fantasy. And I don't even think my team got 100 yet. Because he had Kamara. He
Oh
had
man, yeah.
like he had the quarterback from the Arizona. What's his name?
Oh,
Kyler Murray. He had DK Metcalf. He had the defense that went up against Carolina. Yo, this dude, he had the kicker from some team that put up like 16 points from a kicker. Yo, I'm gonna get my ass waxed.
Hey man,
Lions
Lions kicker Jake Bates had 3 field goals today from like decent distances. So, if you're looking for a kicker, pick up Jake Bates because apparently the Lions ain't scoring no fucking touchdowns. You know what I mean? But shout out,
giving that kicker some leg work.
Shout out to
you gonna earn this paycheck.
Aiden Hutchinson had 5 QB hits today. He only had 5 tackles, but he had 4 and a half of those tackles was sacks. So let's go. He's having a very TJ Watt like season. Who's like 5th for like all-time tackles in the first 8 seasons from a defensive end.
Who, TJ Watt?
Yeah. He's having a career, man.
But he's like his brother. Like he can't play a full season.
Yeah, these guys
like
go
for
too hard, man.
Yeah, in the gym. Yeah, they're gym warriors.
But Hutch had a good game. But as a Lions fan, I'm gonna stay a Lions fan. I didn't desert them when they went 0-16. I can't desert them for being 1-1. But I need the Ravens to get it together so we can have the Super Bowl that I want.
I fuck the Ravens. Let them keep losing and they bitch
we were talking
every time I want them to win, they always lose.
We were talking offline about being surprisingly more invested into the Patriots than either of us want to be.
I'm guilty.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, yo. I'm rooting for every team with a black quarterback and a black coach. You know what I mean? Like we need to like normalize that, and it won't happen until black quarterbacks with black coaches start winning. So the fact that they're 2-0 right now is good for the sport.
No, see, and that even goes back to when like Lovie Smith and Homeboy from the Colts, 2 black coaches coaching in the Super Bowl against each other.
Now there's like mad black coaches, you know what I mean? You got enough black quarterbacks go to the Super Bowl that like now it's not like taboo to drop the black quarterback.
Don't get me wrong. Shout out to the good white coaches too. Shout out to them. Like Dayball is doing a shit job with the Giants, but shout out to my black coach for the Steelers. Like,
oh yeah, no, good coaching is good coaching. But I mean, listen, if Mike Tomlin and the Steelers go like 14-2 or 14-3 with fucking Russell Wilson at the helm or Justin Fields at the helm, that's big. Because it's like the thing they don't talk about is like you can't have a black quarterback and a black coach. That's not you know what I mean? Like just like before, you couldn't have a black quarterback. Yeah. There's not a lot of black coaches in the league. So like
I swear there's a documentary too, talking about the black quarterback. Like that's one of those documentaries that I'll probably watch during while I'm at work in the daytime.
Shout out to Doug Williams, who unfortunately doesn't have Hall of Fame numbers, but I feel like he should be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? As being the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, but that's a whole
Warren Moon was still my guy.
Oh, Warren Moon.
He used to air that shit out.
He was about his business thing in the Canadian League, then came to the NFL and still did work.
With the run and gun offense.
Right? Update. I typed in random midget shit into YouTube.
Oh no.
And there's a couple of these videos that I'm like, I don't really know what's happening here. But most of them are like
random midget shit.
Random midget shit. Midgets playing sports, midgets playing golf.
As I smoke the midget.
Midgets eating food, midgets fighting, midget karate. Cooking with Vern Troyer, midget basketball, and the list goes on. So
But wait, hold on. And I'm very sorry that if it's offensive, because I remember and I'm now remembering this. They prefer to be called little people. But see, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about this. So if I say midget, I'm not talking about them. Is that still offensive to them if I'm not talking about them?
I mean, I think overall they prefer little people, but I mean, so maybe I should be using little people. But what I searched for was what I searched for was random midget shit because we were throwing out 3 random words.
Yeah.
And one of the videos, one of the videos is 34 minutes long, and it's about a dwarf who scored 5 times in the first half of a football game because nobody could tackle his little ass. He's 4'9". He's a 4'9" running back, and he just like
he's not a midget. Yeah, he's a dwarf.
He's a dwarf, man. Yeah, 4'9" is
come
a
on,
dwarf.
Get your classifications together, brother.
Well, listen, this is what came up under random midget shit on fucking YouTube. But it does say the title is a dwarf scored 5 times, and he's mad littler than the rest of the dudes out there. But he's out there with all the juke moves and shit. Like he's using all the buttons on his PlayStation.
How you can't catch up to this guy and like push him over?
Yo, he's just breaking through the holes. Like he's running between like the dudes and nobody can.
With the little steps.
He's like running under their arms. He's 4'9". He's not like little.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
like, yo, that's like Webster.
You trying to
busting it on a football field? That that premise is that's like Air Bud. You trying like to say this bitch ass dog is really scoring on me?
Little dudes can't be fast. I mean, he's taking just more rapid steps.
But I'm saying nobody could push this dude over. Like, yeah, I get you. Like, you can't tackle him because if you dive, you're just jumping right over his head and sailing over him.
But he looked like he was like pretty. I mean, the shoulder pads. He didn't look like he was like super small, but like
mush him. So I'm saying, nah. If I'm on that defensive team, I'm yelling at everybody. Yo, how's this little motherfucker scoring on us? We know he's getting the ball. We know him and his little steps. Come on, man. Get our shit together. I'll be heated. This dude scoring 5 touchdowns. We got this motherfucker looking like Barry Sanders. Down the scale, like Matchbox Barry Sanders. Come on, man.
Yeah, he was running on them boys too. Hit a couple dudes with some ill juke moves. So yeah.
Usually I'm the sensible person. But yo, that got me heated.
The more to my
Matchbox Barry Sanders scoring on us and shit like that, man.
The more to my story is that you can easily find yourself in a deep rabbit hole.
Yeah. I found myself real invested in that story there for a second. There.
You know, but it's a good
I need
segue.
To jump back in the sauna and chill the fuck out.
It's a good segue to what's on the mind of IronMonkey, which is a new segment we bring in every week. You know, as you was just briefly giving us a preview.
Tell us, grinds my gears.
Tell us, DJ IronMonkey, what is on your mind?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Like, if anything, with the presidential debate, it's a shame the fact that we're even entertaining some of the blatant lies that we're seeing and hearing from the GOP candidate. I'm gonna reserve not saying their name for the simple fact it's like Beetlejuice. You don't want to say it, and then they just pop up, and it just keeps them relevant. But just for the simple fact that I don't believe they fully understand the damage of making such false claims about a particular race. How damaging that can be, and how the ripple effects affects them, the people that he's pointing at. Because the question that he was asked had nothing to do with that. Like, it was like somebody in school giving a book report in front of the class, clearly never read the book, and just bullshitting and entertaining everybody in the class. But the teacher's like, yo, you didn't fucking read this book, did you? No, you got an F. And now the kids now start to turn on the teacher because they were entertained. Boo! He deserves an A. He deserves. And the teacher's like, you know what? I don't need the kids to revolt. You know what? I'll give you a C. Fuck it. Whatever. Sit the fuck down. Next time, read the book. Know what I mean? But this dude is just saying bullshit over and over. It's like, yo, you saw it on TV? All right, bet. What the fuck are you watching if you seeing this on TV? Because there was a city council meeting where the guy was talking about how they was, killing the ducks in the park. Ducks, right? Not dogs. So I'm like, what the fuck is this guy watching? I'm like, oh, I got it. Only place where a legal alien is eating cats is Alf. This motherfucker's watching Alf. Like, come on, man. This shit can't be real. But all that aside, it's like people have to not just look at the presidential race. They have to look at, the down ballots, especially when it comes to city and state, because that affects you more directly. So when it comes to politics, yeah, it's not about style points, just like with my Steelers. It's about making sure that you get shit done and taken care of properly and have the ability to live your life with some kind of dignity, where making that kind of joke, that back in the day, and I'm kind of offended that I used to say this, calling people African booty scratchers, that hurts those people. But when I was younger, I didn't know any better. But now that's what's happening with that race of people. I'm not even going to say what race of people that is, out of respect. But now they have that stigma now to shake off. I don't like that at all. So to keep it brief, that's what was on my mind this week. And I just hope people, see through all the bullshit and all the dazzle in the show and see what's really going on here.
Yeah, I mean, I would piggyback on that real quick and just say that, like, make sure that you are doing your own research on shit and do yourself a favor, whether you're an MSNBC type of person or a Fox News person or a CNN, you know what I mean? They all spin it a little differently. So to give yourself the most accurate depiction of what it really is, you know what I mean? You should watch the spin on all of them. Watch
That's what I do.
MSNBC, see how they spin it around. Then,
Yep.
like, even like at the debate, like the MSNBC and the NBC channels and the more liberal type stations, they was like, yeah, Kamala whooped his ass, blah blah blah. But on Fox, they was like, Trump was on there himself talking about, yeah, I won, it's good, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh no, I
Everything.
felt like the moderators was against me. It was
Yeah,
3-on-1.
yeah. So they spin
Oh,
everything.
it was like she got the questions in advance. It's like, yo, dude, if you're on the campaign trail, isn't this what people are asking on the campaign
Right.
trail? But he's
Yeah.
talking to people. He's not talking. He's talking at people. He's not talking to people. He's
He's
just
not.
talking at them.
Yeah, he's not having conversations with people either. But like,
No,
you can tell that just by the fact that I'm sure his people told him to stay away from a lot of the shit that he got baited into, and he just was like not really caring. But
Oh, oh, actually, you know what? Too, there was a bit of news today. Apparently, there was a second attempt on him. Like, as much as I don't like him, I just don't like that kind of business where it's like you
yeah,
don't like somebody, you go and try to take them out. Nah, that's not the way. Like, I'm not an advocate for any of that shit. I don't like him, and this goes back to the days of lifestyles of the rich and famous. So, like, I go back with that guy. But like, in another attempt, supposedly somebody was in the bush at his golf
yeah, they
course
were in
or
a
whatever
bush
it
at his
was.
golf course with a long gun, left like all kinds of shit there. Even had a
Yeah,
GoPro camera. This shit is. Listen, let's not
no,
assassinate presidents, guys. It doesn't make a difference.
no.
If you didn't vote for him, that's cool. But like,
You
leave
don't
that
like him,
shit.
don't vote for him. Vote
Like,
against him.
that's
That's
it.
the best way.
You gotta vote. Just go vote. You know what I mean? And if you're not a fan, then don't vote for him. If you're not a fan
Yeah.
of Kamala, don't vote for her either. But vote. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He,
It's your right.
and
It's your
let's
civic duty.
let's also normalize not like it's okay to have a political conversation. I think that's good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's okay to have people that are on both sides of the aisle in your friend circle. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I think that's probably better for people than to be like, oh, you don't like who I like, so you're a racist. And we know that not all Republicans are racist, just like all Democrats are not for black people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
let's not
Real
let's
talk.
not be
Real talk.
let's not pull the
Real
wool
talk.
over our eyes thinking that just because you vote Democratic that you're making the best decision, because there's racist Democrats just like there's racist Republicans.
I,
You know,
I'm an independent, and
you
if
know,
anything, like I watch Fox News. The best news to watch though is international news, like
right.
BBC America,
What?
because the different coverage is that they report facts. In America, we report emotions. How does this make you feel? And trying to give you feeling stories to keep you invested,
Yeah,
because that
American
that
media.
that straight fact news is boring, and people are losing like a lot of newspapers because of that shit. People tune off because of that shit because it's just boring. But I prefer my news to just be straight facts. I don't need no entertainment.
American
But that's me.
American news media has become very propaganda like, and that's probably just from like financiers and like people that give money to the station, like, you
Yep.
know, to keep these stations alive. I mean, you should, but all the news comes from like 3 to 5 sources. One of them being AP, one of them being routers, and then they
Routers
disperse it.
and
Bloomberg, and they disperse it to all of the media outlets, and then every media outlet spins it in the way
Yep,
that makes the best sense for
for their
their
audience.
audience. So
Mm-hmm.
go to AP, read the story. Go to BBC UK if you have access to it, read the
Mm-hmm.
story.
Al
Go to
Jazeera
Fox
used to
News,
be kind of nice too.
Al Jazeera. Yep, go to Fox News, watch the story, read the story. Go to MSNBC. Go to all the outlets. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Go to every outlet where you could read some stuff. Fall into a hole about the thing that might interest you. You know, like the people eating cats in Ohio that JD Vance said he made up the other day or today. Was it today or yesterday?
I
He was
think it
like,
might have been today.
sometimes we create stories, he said,
Embellish.
draw to draw attention to the actual thing that we want to talk about. So
No.
they wanted to talk about the issue they have with the immigrants in Ohio, so they made up a story about them eating cats to make people want to look into the immigrant issue that they claim is in Ohio. So, you know, and then you had the people from that town was like, nah, that's not really a thing. So, who do you believe? Did it happen maybe in a one-off? You know what I mean? Because there's videos out there with like police video, like cams and shit. But like, I don't think it's as big of an issue. But they used it to draw attention. It's like, hey, look over there at that elephant, so that you
Nah,
could draw attention to the fact that
the
there's
the
other shit going
the
on.
mayor of the city said yes, that situation happened, but number one, it was an American lady. He didn't say the race. It was an American lady, and it happened in Canton, Ohio. It didn't even happen in Springfield. So if
Damn.
you're trying to call an issue to Springfield, Ohio, talk about things that are happening in Springfield, not other places, and trying to make a connection with us. Plus, my question is when's the last time he actually went to Springfield, Ohio? Like when's the last time he went to all these other places? And then when you're giving him facts about violent crime in America actually dropping, he said no. Oh, because it's coming from the FBI. We know that they make up numbers. Like no, my dude, you got found guilty in New York for fabricating paperwork. Like he was like, well, nobody got harmed, but it just shows a pattern that even with numbers, the numbers is 15,000 immigrants in Springfield. He said, no, it's about 20 or 31. That's what I believe it is. It's much higher than that. Dude, that's the same shit you was doing in New York. You said that your square footage was basically double and triple when it wasn't. And they busted you on that. And now you're doing the same shit again? Come on, man. It's a pattern. You're like, no, man.
The
I can't go with the smoke and mirror, man.
the more to the segment is that you should do your research and make sure you vote accordingly based on the research that you find. Just make sure you check in all the research and don't be afraid to check the views from each angle to
Yep.
make the most informed opinion, because everybody's going to spin it to make, you know what I mean, to make it make
Yeah.
sense for them. Like you can do it with everything, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just make sure you check it from both sides. And the best way to also do that is to have conversations with people on both sides too. Don't just
Yeah,
have
don't block people
conversations.
out
Don't just have
because they
conversations
don't
with
agree with you.
people who don't agree with you, because that's not going to help you in the dialogue aspect of life in general, but also to make an informed decision on other shit.
Yeah, and just like I know a couple of Trump supporters that I'm cool with. They have their reason. I'm not gonna put their name out there. I'm not gonna put their real reason, but I heard what it was for them. I'm like, all right, that's cool. If that's what it is for you, I have to respect it. I don't have to like it.
But there's nothing
I
wrong
don't
with
have to
having.
like it,
There's nothing wrong with
but I have
having.
to respect it.
But there's nothing wrong with having the dialogue, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if they say some shit that's completely off base, it may be an opportunity to educate them on, other things that you may have found. Just like you might think something that's, you know what I mean, a little bit skewed on the other side, and they're like, no, actually it was this and this and this. Like I used to have a huge issue with like how they were like moving the budget around for education back during the Bush days. But then I found out that they're actually giving this money to the states. Like he gave like $50 million to like Rhode Island, right? Which is great for the educational budget. But what did they do with it? Once it gets to the states, it's out of their hands. And so to find out that he was giving so much money to every state for education and the states were mismanaging it or not using it for what it was earmarked for, now it becomes voting for your local state representatives and those
That's
things.
what I was saying.
Those elections are just as important as the national election, because when the money comes, it's up to your local mayors and governors and
to allocate that money,
to allocate that fund, which is a whole other story, because I'm telling you, those tolls is about to come back in a major way to cover this bridge cost. For those of you in Rhode Island understand what I'm saying. For those of you who don't, we had a shitty bridge that they just kind of like, put lipstick on a pig, and then they were like, well, this shit's gonna fall down anyway, so now we got to get it fixed for real. And now they were like, well, how are we gonna pay for it? And I think that they just put new electronic tools on 195, and so eventually those shits will be on. And when they turn on, guess who's gonna have to pay to drive through their state? Yeah. But again, it's no different than driving like through New York or through Pennsylvania or anywhere else on the.
How much is the toll gonna be though? That's the question. Is it gonna be $2 or $5?
Or $20 if you're in New York? Because every time I drive to Philly, I get a $20 toll for going over the bridge. So
shit ain't cheap.
Nah, it ain't cheap, man. Shit, even a turnpike, man. The New York Thruway, all them, they got some hefty tolls on them joints, man.
Yeah, you're better off taking a bus or a train, and then when you get to your location, rent a car. or just Uber.
Or just fly, you know what I mean? Or just I fly to places. I try not to drive too many places these days because unless I'm gonna be there.
My new thing is the train. I like just looking out the window and just the steady little rock, and it's nice. It's something majestic about it all.
I haven't taken a long train ride in a while, to be honest. I used to go from Providence to to Detroit all the time. It's like a 20-hour train ride. And I would just drink all the liquor on the fucking liquor cart the whole time and then pass out. But
my shit is whiskey, sours, and Bud Light.
I do want to do that like transcontinental train ride that you can get the sleeper car for like $600. It takes like 4 days.
Yeah.
But that's gonna do it for this first section of what's on the mind of DJ IronMonkey.
Yeah, kind of ran long.
Hey, listen, man. We'll
tighten it up.
Sometimes the conversations run long, sometimes they don't. You know what I mean? It's all about how we feeling. It ain't no time clock on here. Yeah. I mean, there is, but not really. I mean, we go as long or as short as we need to. You know what I'm saying?
Anti-sharing the shop. Yeah.
One of the other new segments is going to be about internet fuckery. Did you find any internet fuckery on the interwebs today? I honestly didn't really look. I mean, for me, the only fuckery
you just did. You just did.
Yeah. I pretty much
with that little dude. With that little dude scoring 5 touchdowns.
Oh yeah. All right, so I kind of jumped ahead. I gotta save internet fuckery for another time, the next episode. You know what? Internet fuckery is just gonna be me typing 3 random words into YouTube and seeing what comes up.
Yeah. We'll come up with a little word salad. Pick it out of a hat or something.
Yeah. Maybe we'll put a little thing online and be like, yo, we need 3 random words to search on YouTube and see what.
And then I'll put it in the hat, and then I'll pick out those words. So now we have participation and a way to connect to the viewers and people in the chat.
Man, and the shit is probably gonna be funny.
Oh man,
for
You
today.
know,
For the,
my request is try to keep it relatively clean. Don't put shit like butt plugs.
fuck that. I want like the weirdest
Uh,
shit possible. Butt plugs,
uh,
like butt plugs, cornflakes, and toilet bowls. You know what I mean?
nah.
I bet there's a video of some dude eating cornflakes out of a toilet bowl with a butt plug. You know, YouTube is a dangerous place. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, the older I get, the more conservative I get. You know that actually, just the thought of that makes me feel like bashful in a way. Like, oh man, I'm gonna have to talk about that.
Yo, you
Like,
never know what's gonna come
I
up,
barely
man.
want to talk about the third stall incident that happened at the nightclub. There's an infamous story that me and my coworker, or now my supervisor, talk about with the third stall. Then there's another one with the three amigos. Oh man, there's so many stories, but oh yeah, all that aside. But I don't even like talking about those too much. I get bashed for talking about nasty shit. And those two stories, that's basically what it is. It's nasty shit. Yeah. Spoiler
Yeah. So I couldn't help myself, and
alert.
I typed in butt plugs, cornflakes, toilet
Oh no.
bowls.
Oh god.
I didn't put any commas between any of the words. I just typed them in as they were. The
You
first,
know you're gonna have that search history on your computer now, right?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
What they gonna say? Oh, these got some kinks. You know, it's not like we're typing in like kitty porn. We're typing in like
Yeah,
adult
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. That's the kind of stuff that I'm gonna try to avoid. Don't put no outlandish bullshit like that. Like, nah, I'm not. If I see that come out like as a suggestion, I'm not fucking around with that. I'm not writing that shit down and putting that in my hat. No.
So randomly, the
Oh
first
boy.
shit that comes up is Diddy, Usher, Kevin Hart fighting over cereal. Is the first video that comes up. Um, I got to figure out how to pull these videos so when we do search them, we can find uh,
Get
the
like a
most
little thing in the middle here in between us.
the most fuckeried one, and see what it's all about here.
Oh,
The next video that comes up, these are the top two videos when you type in this shit, is uh your main man Fleece Johnson,
oh,
aka the Booty Warrior, who's out of prison, by the way, for those who
yeah.
don't
Hide your
know.
kids, hide your wife. Forget about the cats and dogs.
Fleece Johnson is out of prison, and it's the interview where he talks about booty being more important than water, more important than food. He also lost his
Oh,
virginity in prison, so it's a whole. That dude is.
yeah. You know what? I was actually gonna eat this little candy bar thing. I don't get sponsorship, so I'm not really gonna say their name. But the fact that and then we talk about that, I'm not really hungry anymore.
So anyway, that's what the segment's going to be. I have to figure out how to like add videos in here so we could
Yeah,
show you guys the actual video.
yeah. Kind of lost my appetite on that one.
But also, so that'll be internet fuckery every week. You know what I mean? We'll find some fuckery shit on the internet, on the interwebs, and talk about it with you guys. Is there anything you're
Well,
recommending to the people this week? Any good recommendations on TV shows or
well, TV
restaurants?
show wise, I think last week I was saying about Fight Night on Peacock. Yeah, that's a good one. Like, and the thing is that it's something that I'm sharing with my father. Very weird. Watching Peacock, the application. I find me and my father actually watched whole shows together. Like we was watching breakdancing and everything breaking during the Olympics together. Like we watched the whole thing together on Peacock.
You
Watched
guys
some
watching
soccer games.
old episodes of 227?
Nah, not yet. Nah, we're not at that stage. I don't even, nah, but we've watched all 4 episodes of Fight Night. Like he actually likes the show. Samuel L. Jackson does good. Like this, he had a hard time with the same character I believe everybody's going to have a hard time with. I don't want to spoil it too much, but as soon as you see it, you're gonna be like, him? What? 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 You'll feel
Yeah,
weird when you see it.
I haven't watched it yet, but it is on my list of things to watch.
But but my other suggestion though would actually be Only Murders in the Building. That came back
great
for
show.
that came back. I love that show, man. Oh man,
Great show.
like
Great recommendation. I mean, Selena
it's
Gomez
even a
is
good
really good.
rewatch too. Especially
Yeah,
if you never watched it, you
I
can
started
watch it
from the
with
beginning,
somebody.
man.
Oh yeah, me too.
Selena Gomez is great. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then Martin Short is fucking, and Steve Martin together on screen is like the funniest shit in life, man.
Eugene Levy as the and then what's your name again? Zach whatever his name was.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Homegirl. But no, that's a good show to watch.
Super
Like my
great show.
thing is
Great watch.
my thing would be matter of fact, honorable mention. Actually, put my sister onto the Collective. You know, I was
Oh,
like,
word?
yeah, because I was telling her that she was in the movie. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. So I put her onto the Collective. So I didn't ask her how she liked it, but you know,
Dope.
you had your little spot, and I was like, oh shit, that's my boy.
Yeah, super dope. Shout out to Tom DiNucci for hooking me up with that situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, what am I recommending this week? Man, I'm gonna recommend that banks start facing their money coming out the ATM. Because the last couple times I went to the ATM, the money came out all flipped around, upside down, not facing the same way. But that's not really my recommendation. It's more like a soapbox situation.
Yeah, that sounds
I
like
started
something that grinds your
watching
gears.
randomly. I started watching the NASCAR show. It's a NASCAR show
On NBC.
No. It's on Netflix.
Oh,
It's kind of like the Drive to Survive, which is the Formula One show where they kind of follow the drivers around. This one just kind of
like
takes place
kind of like their Hard Knocks kind of thing.
Yeah. So it takes place during their whatchamacallit, like their playoffs. Like NASCAR has like a little playoff, so like the top 8 guys, and then they race, and then they cut it down, then they race, and then they cut it down. And ironically, this kind of like ties into like my thoughts about who's the goat of goats. You know, everybody talks about the goats in the 4 major sports. So you got Gretzky, Brady, arguably Babe Ruth, and who some people think is still Dominican. And then in basketball, it's arguably still Jordan. You know, so and I'm just looking at the 4 major sports, right? Jordan still now has a NASCAR regular season championship to add to his collection of titles.
They won
because his driver won
Team Jordan?
won the regular season NASCAR championship. Like he won the whole shit.
Oh, okay.
So but it wasn't Bubba though. Unfortunately, it was the other dude in the 4-5.
Oh, okay.
But still, Jordan got a NASCAR ring. I still feel
nice.
now. I still feel like, and I'm just gonna slide right into the thoughts of DJ Caveman. I still feel like Wayne Gretzky is the goat of goats when it comes to the 4 major sports. You can always add in like a Serena Williams or Lewis Hamilton or any of these guys, Tiger Woods. Well, Tom Brady is part of football, but is he the goat of goats? Like, there's no arguing about who the greatest hockey player of all time is. If you say who's the greatest, no. If you ask any hockey fan and you go, who's the greatest hockey player of all time, they're gonna go Wayne Gretzky. He has like streets named after him in various Canadian towns. He also has one of the most unbreakable records in sports.
You remember him, Bo Jackson, and I forgot who the other guy was. It
was him, Bo Jackson. I had it as my Facebook picture. It was him, Bo Jackson, Jordan,
and Jordan.
And they were like the all-stars and shit. They
had a superhero team.
Yeah. That was like a trend for a little bit, man. Everybody
Everybody had a cartoon.
Everybody had a cartoon. Hammer had one of the best cartoons out. Hammer had a cartoon.
Kid and Play.
Kid and Play
Kid
had
and
a
Play
cartoon.
actually was the first one, I believe, for
Uh,
hip hop.
they had the little sports cartoon with the WWF had a cartoon.
Yeah, Jeff
Everybody had a cartoon back in the day, man.
Punky Brewster, Alf. Alf
Yo,
had like 2 cartoons.
right? There was cartoons like it was
Oh,
just
it was everybody had a cartoon and a cereal.
and a toy line. It was all together. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
if you watch that
Synergy.
on the History Channel, they got the Toys That Made America.
Yeah.
Every cartoon had a toy line. It was really like the cartoon was just
A commercial.
the commercial for the toy line. And
Matter of fact, no, that's on Netflix.
Is it on
that series?
Is it on
Yeah,
Netflix too? 'Cause I watch it on the History Channel through Disney Plus.
Yeah, because I remember watching that on Netflix, unless it's something slightly different. But I remember that, like when they was talking about He-Man and shit like that.
Yeah.
And Barbie.
So yeah, I'm definitely. I was thinking about that today. Like, who's the goat of goats for you? You know,
Okay.
and I just feel like in all the other sports, there's an argument. You know, except for maybe Tom Brady now, but there's like, for a while it was like Tom Brady is the GOAT, but Jerry Rice is the best player. You know, or Lawrence Taylor.
Or Lawrence Taylor, yeah.
You know, is the greatest NFL player of all time. Or, you know, and maybe because there's so many different positions in football, there's defensive guys that don't play on offense. And
who's it in baseball?
I still think for a lot
Barry
of people,
Bonds?
I think for some people it's Barry Bonds, but I think for a lot of people it's still Babe Ruth.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays to me is the greatest baseball player of all time.
Okay.
You know, the things he did at the time he did them, and like watching old film of him and people like listening to other people. For me, it's about listening to the peers too, right? So like listening to other people talk about how good Willie Mays was as a youngster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then ascending into the major leagues and continuing to do the same thing. Like,
but then there's also like Satchel Paige, but there's an argument in baseball.
There's a little bit of
in
an
hockey,
argument in baseball between like 4 or 5 guys that could have been like Satchel Paige didn't play enough years in the major leagues. He played a lot of years in the Negro leagues. You know, but they say, and then they say, what's his name there? Has like 800-900 home runs. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
I know who you're talking about too.
Damn, I can't think of his name. But you know what I mean? There's arguments about who the greatest baseball player. Just like, you know what I mean? Is it
wait, is it Willie Stargell that you're talking about? No.
No, it'll come to me later. I don't want to look at it right now because I'm looking at my list. But but yeah, like, and then in basketball, you know, there's the ongoing debate: is it LeBron? Is it Kobe? Is it Kareem? Is it Jordan? You know, and then it comes like people will argue you down in the barbershop about that shit.
Yeah, because Kareem got my vote.
You know, but if you go to hockey, it's Gretzky. You know, his points record is never going to be broken. And the fact that you could take away all his goals and he still has the points record is even crazier to me. When it comes to like unbreakable records, is him and Ricky Steele's record, and everything else is up for grabs after that.
Yeah, Ricky's my guy.
I also don't think anybody will. I don't think anybody will win 300 baseball games anymore either. Like I don't think there'll be like any like complete game no hitters.
Complete games, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Complete
like
game.
Those types of records will stand for a long time, but I mean like as unbreakable, like nobody's ever touching it. You know, like I said, man, like he's the great. Yeah. They refer to him as the great one.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, and nobody argues you. Like nobody's like, nah, it's Sidney Crosby, or no, it's Alex Ovechkin, or this guy, or Bobby Orr, or like they're like, nah. You know, Gordie Howe might be the closest to him, and maybe like
Gordie Howe,
maybe like a Mark Messier, some guys with like a lot of championships that played for a lot of years. You know,
yeah, I was gonna say Messier, but nah, Gretzky is lapping him.
Or like a Mario Lemieux, like they're great, lots of great players, but
Yeah. Oh shit, I
Those
forgot
guys,
about
those guys are
Yarmir
gonna,
Yarger,
yeah, the mullet.
Brandon Roy.
Wow,
Wow.
come on,
But
man.
yeah. Wow. Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, I was thinking about this heavy like the other day and then today, and I was like, man, I'm going to talk about this on the podcast. Like, you know, the greatest of all goats. You know, and I feel like Gretzky's the only one you can't argue right now.
That is true.
Because guys
He
will
is the
still,
greatest.
like, even when you go to like other sports, it's like Tiger has to deal with Jack. You know,
Yeah.
Serena got to deal with, like, you know, maybe Serena. People really don't argue you down about Serena, but she doesn't
Yeah.
have. She doesn't have. I don't think she has the Grand Slam title, or maybe she does.
Like Federer.
Yeah, like a Federer. You know, people will bring up Pete Sampras and like the guys before him,
And
like
Djokovic or whatever his name is.
Djokovic, Jokic. No, Jokic is the basketball.
Jokic.
Jokovic is the tennis
Yeah.
player. You know, Lewis
Yeah.
Hamilton.
The D is silent.
Yeah,
I'm like Shannon Sharp. Damn, that's two of them. Damn, I'm getting these images in.
yeah. I have the same question as LeVar asked him on his podcast. Like, what's with all the growling, bro? Why was you growling? What was you growling for? It was weird. But
Yeah,
anyway,
these are questions that you should ask him rather than him like punching me in my chest
that's right.
to have
Shannon,
to send a message.
so we can talk to you about the growling part. Um,
He's
and
getting me down.
I mean, it sounded like he was done when the live went off too. So hopefully, he was just taking a break, and you gave it. Or what's the meme walking around? You gave it all you had when he left.
Like
When he left
when the
Fox,
uh
when he left Fox, he was like, "I gave it all I had." When he took his
yeah,
glasses off.
he was making that joke.
So
Take off the glasses. But
you
it's not like in the old Nintendo video games when the bad guy loses and then he blinks out.
that's the imagery.
Wait.
It was a
That's the
double
game
track.
Street Fighter.
Oh,
Street Fighter. And when you lose, slow motion.
slow motion falling. Yeah. Yo, let's move to the top five, man. Top five. Top fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. It's time for another top five. Every week we do a top five. Some of them have been super classic. We're gonna keep it moving with a classic. Another classic top five for you. We're going with the top five debut rap albums of all time.
Yep.
Rap hip hop top five.
Oh, there's a lot of good honorable mentions.
There's a lot of great debut albums from different artists or artists, depending on where you're from. So I'm very sure that my list is very different from your list.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb today and say that our lists will not have any of the same records on them.
They might.
I don't think so. I think our lists are going to be completely different today.
All right. Would you like to go first?
I'll go first. All right.
All right.
So I'm gonna start with my honorable mentions. And when I think about my top debut albums, I'm talking about the albums that, like, right now, if I put them on, they bring me right back to the first time I listened to them. I probably still listen to them at a very least once a month. I'll just put them on at work or at the gym, and I'll bang through these albums.
My honorable mentions are great, though.
So my first honorable mention, and I was actually listening to this record like 2 weeks ago on the way to go see my dad. Lords of the Underground, Here Comes the Lords. It's such an underrated album, period. But for them, it was like all their biggest hits came off that record, you know.
Okay, all right.
And every time I listen to it, man, I go back, and it's funny that I was actually going to visit my dad the last time I listened to it, because he's the one who put me on to the album. You know what I mean? I I hopped in his truck, whatever he was driving at that time. It was a blue Bronco that he used to
Oh,
let me whip all the time. But he had it in the tape deck, and he was like, "Yes, one of the young boys on the block put me onto this." Boom, popped it in, and we drove to wherever we was going to work on a job site. And I was like, "Damn, I got to get this," and I went out and bought it. I might have stole the tape off him. I'm not really sure. But my next honorable mention is going to be Wu-Tang Clan, 36
oh,
Energy 36 Chambers.
all
Uh,
right.
as it
As an
is one of
honorable mention.
as an honorable mention, as it is one of the most classic albums ever. I wasn't really a huge Wu-Tang fan growing up. You know, I
Kind of
became
controversial, but
I just wasn't, man. I became more of a Wu-Tang fan after they started to break off. So like, when Method Man had his solo project and when Ghostface had his solo project, that's when I kind of became more fans of them
all right.
individually. And, it was too many shows that I wanted to go to where they didn't all show up. And I just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, right? So like I wasn't ever
Okay.
really like a huge Wu-Tang fan. They're in Vegas right now, and I'm curious to know how many of them show up to this Vegas residency when they do it. Because it's like, yo, if I'm gonna go to Vegas and I want to see Wu-Tang at this
You don't
at
want to
this
see you,
theater.
God, and Master Killer?
Yeah, I don't want to see you God and Master Killer and Capadonna. You know what I mean? I want to see the but again,
Nah, but
um this one is gonna surprise you when I say it, but when again, these are albums that are in my pantheon of shit that I throw on very regularly to listen to as debut albums. And
okay.
so my third joint is
Honorable mention.
honorable mention is the Chronic album
Okay.
by Dr. Dre. Um, could
Mm,
easily be one of the top 5 albums of all time. It introduced Snoop, it introduced Lady of Rage, it introduced a lot of guys
mm.
into the
That
West
nigga
Coast,
Daz.
Daz and Corrupt and the Dog Pound, which is another album I
Mm.
listen to all the time, but it didn't make the list.
All
Definitely in
right.
my top 10 because I listen to it all the time at the gym. They got some good gym bangers on there. But so the Chronic album for me, man, I had the tape when I played the shit out of that tape because it was one of my few tapes. I had the Chronic, I had Lethal Injection by Ice Cube, and I had the first Tupac album, which also
Nah,
didn't make the list. But
the Chronic got me grounded. My mother found the CD and she was like, "I'm a rat tat 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 that ass." Yeah.
wow,
Where'd you get the money for this? Yeah, no. When my mother got mad, she was a real comedian. I wanted to laugh, but I also didn't want to get a beating, and I didn't want her to break my CD.
even
So she,
even yeah, man. Even
so
in a quick, I'm not going to touch on it very very much, but I'm gonna throw in like a fourth honorable mention because this was a tough list. Muddy Waters by Redman because he's a top 5 favorite artist of mine, and so
wait,
he.
Muddy Waters was it? No, it's Time for Some Action was the first one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive because he's on my honorable mention list too.
Okay, then Time for Some Action is definitely, but Muddy Waters was dope too. But so
Mm.
never mind. So anyway, coming in at number 5,
All right.
um, is going to be uh, the Roots. Do you want more album? Which I went and double checked, and it is their first release on their discography when you go online. So, do
All
you
right.
that album? My aunt bought for me at a Strawberries Music one time when I went to visit her in Detroit, and I bought the record and I had it on my little deck that she had in the room that I was staying in, and I was playing this shit. And she let me push the whip at the time. It was like a brand new Monte Carlo. You know what I'm saying? Because she worked at General Motors, so she always had the newest whips. Um, and it was the first one that had like the Bose systems in them and shit. And so I'm driving around. I think I went to McDonald's. I didn't even go that far. I just went to McDonald's and I drove
Mm.
mad and I just banged that whole album like in the driveway out of that record. And I still listen to it like at least once a month, man. Um, the Roots is like
I,
the Roots is one of the dopest groups to me. Um, you know, Questlove is you know probably the best
drumming legend.
yeah,
Drumming legend.
drum legend. and Black Thought is in my top 5 MCs. Um,
All right.
so coming in
Get
at
no argument from me.
number 4
Mm-hmm.
is going to be the Ready to Die album by Big. Uh, you know what I'm saying? I got that album. Matter of fact, Sekou, friend of both of ours, let me
Yeah.
listen to it on the plane going to DC one time on a
Mm.
Need project. He let me listen to it on the plane, and as soon as I landed, I went and bought one for myself so that I didn't have to
Mm.
like give him back his tape type shit. Like I bought him a new tape. Either way, we both had the tape when we landed. Um, Still the album I play like all the time. Number 3
Mm-hmm.
on the list is going to be another West Coast gem, the Doggy Style album by Snoop Dogg. Um,
All right.
Man, the album kind of changed my life. The album made me want to rap, which is weird to say that after I just said that Ready to Die is on this list. And but
Mm.
and it came out like Doggy Style came out after. Biggie made me like rap, but for a while I thought I was like, I feel like the West Coast vibe for me was like more my vibe. Um, and Snoop was like, I don't know, he was just spitting that shit back in the day, and it wasn't even like, anything super intricate, but I liked his whole thing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
The voice, the rhyme style, everything. But that Doggy Style album is a classic. I probably listen to it like every couple of days. Like I listen to it at work, or I got a bunch of the songs on my favorites, so they'll play up. You know what I mean? Number 2 for me
Mm-hmm.
um, could easily be number 1. I actually listened to it yesterday on the way home from work. Um, is the Nas Illmatic album.
All right.
A lot of things about this album that I love, but the best part about it is that when you listen to the lyrics today, they make so much sense. And
Oh yes.
like think back, and this dude was like 16, 17 when he was writing a lot of these songs
Mm.
put on this album. You know what I mean? So like to be like where he was at his age and the imagery was just crazy. Um,
All right.
Number 1 has been my number 1 album, debut album. Actually, it's probably like my favorite album of all time, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Um, is Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt album. A lot of people, a lot of people think
Okay.
a lot of people think his best album is Volume 2, which is a super dope album in its own right. But the Reasonable Doubt album to me is so dope. Like
Mm.
there's no skips.
Okay.
Even the skit there's like 1 or 2 skits on there. They're pretty cool. You know what I mean? They've been like redone. But yeah, Reasonable Doubt, number 1 debut album for me.
All right.
That's
All right.
that's
So
my top
so
5 with a bunch of fucking honorable mentions. But
all right. So you had the Roots at 5, Biggie at 4, Snoop at 3, Nas at 2, and Jay Z at number 1. All right. So with my list, this all right. Let me go with my honorable mentions and not spoil my list. But my honorable mentions are ones that I just love to listen to just randomly. Now, there's some groups like MOP and Mobb Deep. Their first debuts, they were kind of shaky. So we're talking debut albums. So my honorable mentions are J. Rue the Damager, Group
very
Home,
very dope first albums.
right? De La Soul, right? And Eric B. and Rakim. Like
Huh?
those debut albums, fucking dope,
Super
right?
dope. Yeah, all solid
Say,
choices.
and then Biz Markie, I'll throw him in there as well because he's still one of my favorite artists, right? Super dope, right? Debut album. Now, my top 5, it was kind of hard, and I have reasonings for some of them, right? I'm not gonna give reasonings for all of them, but my top 5 is shared with Dr. Dre and Snoop. Like both of those albums, like yeah, granted, like I like Ice Cube, but it was just something about Dr. Dre and Snoop in that G Funk era that was fucking dope, right? Especially as debut albums. Like Dr. Dre pivoted from what he was doing to end up making hits, right? And then, like you said, he introduced a lot of people. Snoop, his shit was just fucking dope, top to bottom. My four, my number four is Nas and Jay Z. The thing with the Illmatic album, it was only 10 songs. It was dumb short,
It was
right? So that's why it kind of got bumped back on my list. Jay Z, people actually slept on that first album. It was only when Volume 1 came out, the second one came out when people started to go back and listen to the first one.
Yo, 22
You know, but
Jews and Cashmere Thoughts, those shits.
oh, Cashmere Thoughts, woo, that's my shit. Oh, I love that. But even with that, his introduction, and it wasn't really his album, was when he was doing Hawaiian Sophie and shit like that with that Riggedy Rob kind of style, you know, when he was rapping with Jazzo. But either way, moving on to my number three. Number three is Biggie. Brooklyn, that shit was just dope top to bottom. Like, even though, yeah, Diddy was on his time, you know, possibly around that time too, but either way, all that aside, the music that he produced and the way that Biggie flowed, for me, it helped because, like, I love Big Daddy Kane, right? He should have been my honorable mention as well. But the thing too is Biggie was just Brooklyn. He kind of took the mantle from what Big Daddy Kane was doing, like being fly, having lyrics, and can battle, right? And got something to say, and then will punch you and kick in the door, right? Kind of shit. So Biggie's my number three. Number two, I'm surprised you didn't even have this on your radar. Kanye West, College Dropout. That shit was fucking dope musically.
Yeah, that was
even though
dope,
like he's a little wacky right now.
That was a super
but
dope album. Super dope.
Yeah, production value out the roof. Woo. Like it was just a solid ass album, right? People they have the debate College Dropout or you know, what was the other one, Graduation or whatever it was.
College Dropout.
Like which one?
Far.
Oh yeah, especially as a debut. Like he was just known as a producer. You know, so he popped out big time on that one. Number one for me has to be Wu-Tang. The funny thing is I saw the video, Mystery of Chess Boxing. I really didn't like it. I thought it was kind of weird. I didn't like the beat, but oddly, my uncle, I went over to his house one time and he put me onto the tape. He was like, "Yeah, no, you can borrow it. You know, matter of fact, keep it." So I went home. I'm like, man, what's this shit he's giving me? Like, he knows I'm in the kung fu movies, but you know, whatever. I'm gonna play. Played that shit, blew my fucking mind. So for me, it helps spawn off everybody else in their solo albums. Like, because I could have easily said Ghostface because I love Ghostface's Iron Man album. Right, that shit was dope. People might want to say the Purple Tape was better. Not for me. And then Method Man and Old Dirty Bastard and everything else that spun off of that one. Even though, as a group, that was their first showing to the world. But even though like Prince Raheem and the Jizza or the Genius, you know, had Come Do Me.
Oh yeah,
you know? but as a group, you know, under that persona, under that umbrella, that shit was dope. You know, so Wu is number one for me.
I like how you comboed 4 and 5 to get 7.
Yeah. You see that? No, because it's hard to pick Jay-Z and Nas, but the thing about it is that I would, my original list, I had Jay-Z. No, wait, I had Nas, then Jay-Z, right? But then I was like, but the thing with Nas is it was only like 10 songs. And they're charging you full price for the CD. That was back when like CDs were like $25.
Yeah, but so that's actually what I think. That's actually what I think is super dope about those records. Like, but that was back in the day. Like it was really like only like 12 songs on a CD anyway. And then it was like mostly skits. Remember, skits used to be a thing. You know what I mean? They'd be like 2 songs in a skit. Even that big album really only got like 12 songs on it.
Yeah, but it made me feel like I was getting more for my money out of just like
The Chronic
like
album,
10 songs.
the Chronic album is all skits, mostly. The $25
Yeah,
stack pyramid, the one where he's fucking a chick in the doctor's office, the fucking
yeah.
yeah, it's like mad skits on there. So it's like, yeah, there's not as much. There was
It
no
was more
skits. It
production
was just
value for me.
straight rap. Just like, let me get in here.
Yeah, and that's why I had to package them together because it was hard to pick between them two. I got to bring them together. We got to stop this beef.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Really?
I mean, we're up against it, man. It was a good show. Couple changes, you know what I'm saying? I think that we're gonna run with this every week, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get, you know,
The format.
the format, you know what I'm saying? What's on the mind of Iron Monkey?
Mhm.
Some internet fuckery, so we're gonna have some random words to punch in,
Okay,
and hopefully some videos to watch, and we figure that part out, how to get these videos.
probably
Uh,
put it on the Facebook page.
yeah, and then we're always gonna come with some recommendations. Hopefully, they're better as the world goes on, and I start to get it back outside, and Iron Monkey's outside doing things. You know what I'm saying? There might be some restaurants to recommend. Uh, if I do want to recommend, I definitely go to if you're local, go hit up Black Beans PVD on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
She's always doing her thing, man. Like she got the um, brunch, like breakfast and brunch on the weekend,
Mm.
breakfast and lunch during the week. All the menus, it's a good pricing. The food is fantastic. It's very quick, made to order, but it's like
From
not.
scratch.
It's not gonna take so long. She makes everything from scratch, including like the mustard or shit that she put the condiments. She even makes them shits. So, um,
100% scratch restaurant, right?
one of the best mac and cheeses on the planet. So holla at her is Black Beans PVD on Facebook. Um,
Yep.
tell her we sent you. You know, she might not give you a
Yes.
deal, but it'll make us look good. So make sure you
Nah,
tell
you trying to get half price, nigga? Nah, that's only for them.
her. Yeah, if you want the deal, you got to come with one of us to get the deal. You can't just go on there
Yeah.
on your own trying to get the deal.
Tell me what you want before we get inside, so that way it's much smoother that way. Don't
Right,
get and
right.
then be like, yo, can I also get? Can I also get? No, you can't get nothing. No, man. Yo, the jig is up. Come
Right.
on, man.
And we also we next starting next week. We going exclusively to YouTube Live. So, and if you want to watch us live, you got to catch us on the YouTube. We're posting the links on Facebook and on Instagram. So you can click those links and come on over to the YouTube channel where you can hit that like and subscribe button, and then it will alert you when the new shows happen when we go exclusive to YouTube. Let's run up these numbers, man. We got to think of some shit to give away. Every 100 new followers, we're gonna give some shit away. It might be some cheap ass seats somewhere, or it might be some one of a
Bust out the
kind.
tickets.
Yeah, it might be some one of a kind DJ Iron Monkey, Daddy Dearest jewelry design. It might be, I might go on Game Time and find like right today I saw Pitbull tickets for $50. You know what I mean?
You know
So
what?
it might be
Too?
one of those things we can give away.
Hold on. You know what? Because I have a few prints here, and I gave them out to like my nieces and my nephew, my son, my daughters, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, my camera's gonna move around a little bit here for a second. No, but I have some ill prints of like some comic book covers that I actually laminated. Like this one is homegirl. Forgot her name. She was in that new thing movie, Doctor Strange movie. And I got this one from one of the comics that I like, Bitterroot, and they're actually big prints too. So I got this one, Bitterroot, where they kind of pay homage to Do the Right Thing. There's another Bitterroot one that they kind of paid homage to Prince and Purple Rain. So yeah, you know what I mean? See, I got another print of America.
Oh, all right, word. So listen, we're gonna try to every time we reach a 100 follower milestone, we're gonna give some shit away. So every new
Yeah.
100 followers, we're gonna find some shit. We're gonna give it away to folks that's participating in the comments and shit like that. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment, feedback, You know what I'm saying? If we say some shit you don't like, let us know. We could talk about it. I mean, we might not talk to you about it, but we might talk about it. And
You know what
tell
though?
you,
I might
tell you
throw
to
in
go
something for
fuck
our day
yourself.
ones too. I might
Day
throw in
one,
something for our day ones.
some
You know?
day one listeners. We got some subscribers now, so maybe we'll do something for the day ones as well.
Yeah,
But
I gotta do something for our day ones.
you gotta
Our first
subscribe.
50.
All right, so we got a little bit more than 50, man. I think we got like 150.
Oh, where? Oh
Yeah,
shit, damn.
we kind of up there from all of our previous endeavors.
Oh snap. All right.
We do got some.
I'm not a numbers guy. I don't look at the numbers. I just come out and try to put out quality content in a sensible way.
Yeah, we got some YouTube.
Other than that little guy, that dwarf. Yo, I'm gonna mush that dwarf, man. That motherfucker not scoring no more touchdowns on my team. Fuck that dude.
So you want to go to Caveman Entertainment TV and hit that subscribe button. We currently have 160 subscribers.
Oh shit! All right.
Which is, very grassroots numbers, but we're trying to get our numbers up, man. We're trying to get to thousands and millions. But
we appreciate the 162 that we got right now, man. Love y'all.
We're 40 away from 200. So let's get ourselves up to 200 this week and give away some shit. You know what I mean?
Got some posters here.
So we're gonna give away something. We don't know what it's gonna be yet. You know what I'm saying? We might give you some autographed Vinny Pazienza boxing gloves or something. You know. What?
No, why?
Because we giving shit away, man, to our subscribers.
Okay. Yeah, and you know what? It might have value to somebody else.
I just happen to have a pair of Vinny Pazienza autographed boxing gloves.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Oh, snap. That's why I was like, yeah, where the fuck you getting them shits from?
You know.
But apparently you got it already.
But there's also auction sites where we could get fun shit to give away too. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll have some raffles and shit, but we're gonna be giving away some cool shit. At least shit we think is cool. And we're gonna be sending it to our folks that's interacting with us on the YouTube channel. So go on over to the YouTube page, Caveman Entertainment TV, and hit that subscribe. And we're gonna check y'all next week, direct live and direct from our YouTube channel. So you have to look for the links on Facebook to be able to get over there and interact with us and leave some comments and shit. You know, tell us how we're doing, but make sure you say it with your chest and leave 5 stars anyway, even if you hate it. Just click 5 stars.
And don't go out in these streets trying to mush any dwarfs. I'm not inciting any kind of violence outside the football field. Like outside of the football field, no, don't be mushing midgets and dwarfs. Don't do that shit. I mean, little people and dwarfs. Don't do that. Not in real life, because they got a strength that you're gonna find out. You know. Yeah.
Also, let's normalize. You know what? I'm gonna save it for next week. I got a good one for next week. I was thinking about this today too, but I'm not gonna burden you anymore with my rants. But I got something for next week. So anyway, holla at us, man, on all the socials. You know how to find us. We'll be back next week. Everybody, be cool.
Peace.